What's up, guys? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's what day is it, y'all? It's Tuesday. It's 7 o'clock. You know what it is? We're here to talk about the King's Court. Yeah. What's up, Aubrey? Oh, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I know it was
There
still
you
mute.
go.
It was still
There you
muted. Okay, so what happened? I was in the studio waiting for you, but you didn't use the reusable studio, so I had to, and I didn't have the Instagram. It is, I think I'm going to give you my email address because anytime you want to send me a different link, I'm going to need you to email it to me. Okay?
go. Okay. I mean, I did use the reusable studio.
You
I
did?
thought, yeah, it's all
No.
set up and everything, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Let's see. Oh yeah, maybe. Let me see. No, did I do that earlier today? Yeah, no. Anyway, but go ahead. You were saying.
How did you like the show?
Oh, it was good. It was good. I like the little situation with was it Lexi and how she was trying to handle Carlos. And I like the directness of Carlos because I think it's a very difficult thing to have these difficult conversations where you don't come off as being confrontational, but you're just telling the facts and the truth of the matter. That she should have went to him before she went to gossiping like that. It was
Okay, so
messy.
let's back it up. Let's start at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Because I agree with you. I feel like a lot of times some women, I have to say some, I feel like a lot of times some women don't want to hear the truth. And I feel like
I don't think
minus
anybody
Tyson
to be.
Beckford,
I have
minus
to.
Tyson Beckford, these other two have
Mhm.
very mature communication, I feel like.
They do. They do. And I was gonna say, I don't think any of us like to hear the truth when it's a truth that puts us in a poor light. Like if it's a, oh, you are beautiful today. I love that outfit. We all like to hear compliments, but when it's a truth that doesn't align with us or that maybe for people that are I don't know how to say this, but if it might hurt your self-esteem or your ego, most of us don't like to hear the truth, men or women.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily mean like directed towards you, like in terms of you're beautiful and that kind of thing. I think like um just him not being attracted to her, and I feel like we've all been in that situation where you're trying to feel out each other, but you're like he's not feeling me necessarily. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
instead of just sitting in that, he's not really feeling me, and so I would like to be with somebody who actually feels excited to be around me. This ain't it. So we don't have to press it. It's nothing against me. I'm not gonna be like, thinking less of myself just because it's not a click, it's not a connection.
Hmm. Yeah. Right. I don't. Yeah. I think it kind of showed. Even though Lexi said she's all this and all that, and how she snaps off at people when she doesn't like what they're saying, I think it showed a lot of her insecurity, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest. And Lexi, don't get me wrong, she is a looker. She's a good looking lady. She seemed to be a sweet lady, and all of that, had herself together. But Lexi, just my observation by eye, doesn't physically match up with the other ladies there, in my opinion.
I agree. And I feel like it just has a little bit to do with, again, not so much on what she looks like, but just being polished and being confident. She doesn't exude confidence.
No,
Um,
she
I
does
will
not.
say, so, they, after their elimination, they got all, an opportunity to like spend a little time with each other. Carlos has definitely made a connection with Jana.
Yeah, he has, and that's the fact of the matter. Like I've seen that, not necessarily in a guy that I was dating or had an interest in directly, but like for example, I'll just say it like this. So years and years and years ago, my daughter was in high school. She was in this program that was a STEM related program that went around to the different colleges here in the Detroit and the Michigan area. And
Mm-hmm.
so we were at an event, and this young man was talking to her. She had met him at earlier in the semester for this STEM event, and because it was like a campus thing, and then they had come back home, and she was introducing them to me and this and that, and he was talking to her, and I was just observing them. And later on, when we had left the event, I said, you know what? I said, this guy, he likes you a lot. And she was like, oh no, Mom, he's just a friend. He's just a friend. He don't like me like that. And I think it took her a little bit of while, and it wasn't maybe, I don't think a good 2 weeks before she was telling me we were out having lunch. And she says, Mom, is it okay if I make him my boyfriend?
Oh my
and
God, that's
and
cute.
those two were together for a long time. For a long time, we thought his mother and myself thought the two of them were going to end up married directly after college, but it did not work out that way. But yeah, so you can kind of see it. I'm saying all that to say the connection that Janae and Carlos have is palpable. You can feel it, see it, taste it, touch it.
I can feel it. It
That's how
was
big it is.
immediate. As soon as
Immediate.
he walked out the room, into the room, they were drawn to each other.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That being said, just to tap on Lexi just a little bit, if you're going to come into a competition, like most of us in the real world, we're not moving like that. We're not in a competition situation, not like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to like find your confidence from somewhere and bring out who you are. She could very well have like taken a moment just to get to know him, talk to him more, like that lurking in the bushes thing, and you creating all kind of envy. I feel like within herself, it didn't translate because everybody else, like I said, it's not just the guys; it's a house full of people. You got to be fun. You have to have positive energy because the guys are going to feed off of that.
Right. And then, think about this. I just had to stop and think about this for a second. Sure, originally, and I told you guys last week that Carlos is my pick. He's my kind of guy, physically speaking, right? But you're in this opportunity of a lifetime. Where else will you have the possibility to be hugged by and dating somebody like Tyson Beckford and this Titus guy who I think is fine.
Come
Okay.
on. Come on.
So if this guy didn't like me, I wouldn't give a leap.
Come on.
You know
I'm
what?
gonna at least socialize. At the very least, you could go act a fool with Tyson, and he's gonna keep you there just for being a fun girl.
Exactly.
Well,
girl, it couldn't have been me because I would have been all up in that fun.
Absolutely. What did you come for? To make this man your husband? I mean, I guess, but that's not usually how that works out. Now, at breakfast, Thaddius comes in and he gives his girl, Dr. Shawanda, a little hug. And then he made a formal announcement amongst everybody in the kitchen that she gave a lovely church hug to him.
Yes, he did. He did. What did you think about that? Did you feel like that was uncalled for, or do you think that he was kind of trying to point something out to her?
I feel like he's the boy that pulls your hair when he likes you. That's what it was giving to me.
Yes. Okay. I haven't heard that or thought of that in a long time. But yes,
he liked to see her feisty. He wanted to see her revved up. And
it did.
I'm straight out the gate. Dr. Shawanda has, she's my favorite girl here.
Yeah, but
I love the way she flipped it around and lured him in, and he wanted her to be all spicy, and she tricked him and she disarmed him, and I was loving every second of it.
She did. She really did. When she said, first of all, she said, well, what do you want? No, tell me what you need. And I thought, yeah, because that word "what," I don't know what it is about the word "what," but said in a certain tone, that word is a big trigger for me. Like if I call your name and you're in the room with me and you say "what," I'm already hot. Like what? Excuse
me?
Mean
what?
Yeah, it's like it's the correct answer in my mind, at least anyway, is yes. Like if I call your name,
it's not a positive response.
Yeah, say yes. Say, and if you're my man or we're dating, say yes, dear, or it's something along those lines, some kind of something sweet. And the same way I expect a man to have that sensitivity to me, I expect the woman to have that too. So she almost blew it when she said, well, what do you want? But then she cleaned it up and she came back with, tell me what you need.
You
And
know,
I'm sorry. And she came back and gave him the hug that he deserved.
yeah, but he needs to work for it. Come on now. She's a whole
No,
she's a whole
no,
doctor. I feel like he
no,
needs to work for it. We're competing. I
no,
need to know that you like
no.
me for real.
No. Because see, first of all, he picked her, and like you said, he has been showing her he liked her from the rip. He has been showing her he liked her by how he talks about her feistiness, and he always says it with a smile. He likes her, and my thing is, no, he don't need to work for it because here's the deal: they're both courting one another at this stage in modern dating. So she's got to give him something. And I felt like, well, what is a hug? I ain't talking about, we're not exchanging, but they're not exchanging bodily fluid, just a regular straight on hug. I like to, when I like a man, I like to give him that hug to know what I'm working with. You see what I'm saying? But she want to be Miss Doctor Lady. That doctor thing is going to be played out because
Well,
that's not what's going to get him. That's not what's going to get him.
I think too though, like he came in like she was matching energy, like trying to see his vibe, but also he keeps calling her aggressive. So she thought she was falling back a little bit because she's like, this man keeps calling me aggressive, so I'm gonna ease in there. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like her energy was coming from that. She even mentioned like he keeps calling me aggressive, and I'm gonna have to address that because it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I agree with her on that. I absolutely agree. That is something that she needed to address. And I thought, again, we're talking about difficult conversations, crucial conversations. She did that. She did
Yes,
that,
she
and
did.
together they both did. Like I got misty eyed and a little lubricated somewhere else when he did that apology because
I
like I
was
was
pretty
like,
much like, I heart this. This is my favorite couple. I love them.
Girl, when he apologized to her, and wait a minute, and I was wondering because he had them shades on, and I'm like, I know this fool, girl, and he snatched them suckers off, and he looked at her and he said, "This requires me to look at you eye to eye." Took them girl, I was like, what? And she had the little tears coming down. Girl, I was like, yeah, that's your man. You give him a full hug next time, and don't do that church hug no more.
Well, see, now he will. But I feel like I feel her energy. You're not gonna be calling me, hey El Cid, like, share, subscribe, all the things, do all the things. Um, I don't know. I felt her energy. I felt like I want to see because again, this isn't regular situation. You got all these girls here. So I need to see, like, are you playing with me or, what is it? And he let her know, like, they went toe to toe. They were like having a little thing in front of everyone as if they're already a couple.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Well, after breakfast, off to, meet the new ladies.
Mm-hmm.
They got a new crop. This is my first time here. What do you think of the new crop?
Oh, I thought they were spectacular. It seems like each new crop is getting more gorgeous and more diverse. Yeah,
I was gonna say they're also different. I like that.
Very diverse with this group right here. For me, the standout was Brianna. What's her name? Where's she at here? Felicia, and I think, okay, I'm getting my girls mixed up. I think it was Ariel. No, wait a minute.
Ariel.
I'm sorry. And Steph. Steph was the one I was looking for. Steph.
I like Steph. So let's find out who these ladies are. Ariel is from Houston, Texas. She's a doctor of physical therapy. She has a 5-year-old son that has autism. She's 39 and she describes herself as a hopeless romantic. She says she's been engaged 3 times.
I thought, you know what? That's like our girl over on Match Me Abroad that I'm doing on my channel right now with El Cid. Mm-hmm. That's the same thing. We're dealing with a dater who has been engaged 3 times but yet never married. Never went through with none of these engagements. And I'm like, something's up with that.
What is up with that? That's like, I feel like men get labeled with having a fear of commitment all the time. What makes you go all the way to the point? Because engagement is a big commitment.
It
Three
is.
times? 3 times you've done it?
Yep. I mean, I don't know. I know for the one again, this other girl, I feel like it's because she falls in love very quickly without collecting the data that she should be collecting to make an informed decision on, is this the man that I want to spend the rest of my life with? And I'm wondering if Steph has the same issue. Does she fall in love quickly and just disregard the facts and the data from this person, like he's a homosexual, for example, or he's giving off abusive vibes? Does she neglect those? Because I'm wondering. I had one broken engagement in my life, and to this day that person is my one of my best friends.
One, especially when you're younger and you decide maybe I'm not ready to do this, is not a scary thing. If somebody said I was engaged earlier in my life and it just wasn't the right decision, I get that. 3 times though,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 3 times is a lot. And by
that's a
the
lot.
way, my broken engagement, I was very mature. I was very mature, let me say that. So it really wasn't the young age or anything, but we won't discuss the complications of that
But it
situation.
wasn't right.
It wasn't right.
And
Yes,
that's okay to
exactly.
make that decision,
Mhm.
you know. But
Mhm.
it seems like she does it a lot. We got Brianna. Brianna is 41-year-old tech manager living in Los Angeles. When she entered the show, the tech guru made it clear and has nothing to be insecure about. Why you say that though? You come in the room, you know how you go to a job and they say we don't have any drama around here, and you're like,
Mhm. Yeah, that's the first clue that there's drama. You shouldn't have to announce that, I don't think.
I don't feel like that's something you need to announce. Brianna, we didn't get to see a whole lot of her, so I don't really have any opinion about her personality per se. I think, feeling like I feel like she said it in the show. I feel like she says something about, not being what does she say? Intimidated or something like that. I don't know.
Mhm.
We have to
Mhm.
put her on pause. And then there's Kat. Kat is a DJ and a singer living in Miami. Do Kat date black men? Is it
Mm,
another situation? I don't know. It didn't come up, but
yeah, I think she probably does. I mean, I haven't seen anything that makes me feel like she definitely doesn't, but we'll keep watching and we'll find out.
she lives in Miami. That makes me think she probably has tried it.
Mhm. At least a spicy Latino man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's 41 and she's divorced. I liked her. I must say I liked her. She wasn't given the same kind of energy as Jenny.
Mm-mm, no.
Um,
Jenny from the block. No, she wasn't giving that same energy. Jenny, my dad is a senator, and
yeah, nah, she's
I love all people, including the coloreds.
you said colors and Negroes.
Hmm. Oh, I'm gonna
that's,
use that word,
that's
girl.
what it
It,
was
it
giving.
has a special meaning to me, but okay.
I feel you. I get it. I got one too. I'm not gonna say it. Um, Idleweiss. She's from Spain. She's 38. She's living in Miami. I think she's probably the type of girl they're used to.
Yeah.
These are athletes and actors and things. So I feel like a variety of women is something they've all been exposed to.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely. Yes.
she's the life of the party. Okay, she's goofy, spunky, and I don't know because we didn't see much of her. She told us that she's
Hmm.
probably high energy.
I think so. I think she's bubbly. I like Ella Weiss. I like at least what I saw of her thus far. I liked her enthusiasm when they had the course thing. I liked the way she did the little shimmy in between there. Like she is a person, like she said, I could see her being the life of the party. And I liked her accent. I think she's very adorable.
She has a cute accent. I don't know that, unfortunately for her, she's paired with Carlos, and Carlos is in a whole relationship with Janae. So
You know what? Down the road, at some point, maybe the next episode or 2 or 3 episodes down the road, he may need a confidant, a female confidant. So that's the only role any other person besides Janae could play for him. You're right, because he is in a whole relationship with Janae already on the second episode.
He has emoji hearts and everything, and that's his words, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
Felicia's beautiful. Felicia's 36-year-old business analyst from Houston, Texas, who's tired of situationships. The
Okay.
businesswoman has her sights set on one man only. That's unfortunate. I hope it ain't Tyson.
Yeah. Yeah, Tyson, he's not anyway. Yeah. But you know
Yeah.
what? But my thing is, again, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I would be perfectly fine. And this is not my typical response or, the way I would date. But being on this show, if I were to be so lucky and fortunate to be on this show, I would take it as, like I said, what it is. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity to be around Holly Robinson Pete, her husband, these other men. And I would just be getting my selfies on when we're not filming,
Come
like, oh,
on.
I want my fan base to know. Look at who I met. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that.
If you
And
didn't have a better, I can't think of a better outlet than Tyson. He's gonna
yeah,
say, "Come on over here,
right.
girl."
Have fun with it, because the thing of them trying to be so competitive and thinking that all of them are going to be somebody's wife or something, that's silly. I don't think that it's impossible. I think you had said something last week when we did our episode. I don't think it's impossible, because I think a man or a woman that's looking for love, they can find it wherever. And I won't even tell you
Anything
my
can happen.
I
And
won't
you'll
even
have
tell
this
you.
story about you
Mhm,
met on a reality show, but that's not
exactly.
gonna happen for all of us.
Yeah. So I would just have fun with it. That would be my thing, and my thing, promoting my brand. Like I said, getting those pictures in,
Come
wearing
on.
the sexiest, sharpest thing. So I wouldn't really fall into that pigeonhole unless there was the one person, because sometimes it happens though. You just like with Carlos and Janae, how he looked at her, he said all he saw was that pink dress. Sometimes there's something in the air. You will see one person in the room. There could be a crowded room. You'll see one man and you'll be like, oh
And you
yeah,
tunnel vision.
tunnel vision.
I'm a tunnel vision kind of person. So, if I'm in it for like the real thing, I really don't want to pay attention to anything else. But, if nothing's here and I'm on this TV show, like you said, I might as well play the game. I feel like Thaddius would be another fun one to hang around.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see engagement between Thaddius and Idleweiss. I think that'll be fun because she's so extra. You know what I'm saying? And I think she can handle Dr. Shawanda.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, Only thing with Thaddeus, I feel like aside from all that partying and stuff, you got to have real conversation. He's an intelligent man, so you're not gonna be able to just get him with being the life of the party. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, after experiencing 2 long-term relationships that didn't last, Sarah is learning to love again. The 37-year-old physician liaison. What is that? A physician liaison?
I don't know, but she seems to be very hell bent on getting her a special guy that's there. I don't know what a physician liaison is. I'm thinking it's something to do with maybe I think I do know what it is, kind of roundabout, because I had surgery. I think it's the person that, like your doctor, let's say you have a procedure done, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think I might be wrong. This is the person that would reach out to you and say XYZ. How are you doing? You feeling better? Doctor needs you to come in next week. Blase, blase, spleen. I don't know. I'm thinking that's what it is.
That sounds like a fancy title for a receptionist.
Well, she had to. They had to spruce it up. We're on Bravo. We got to spruce things up.
Right, right. I don't know. I
Did,
don't.
did,
She's over here freezing eggs and things, and I think that's very smart. But she just kind
I
of
do
blah for
too.
me. She
Yeah.
doesn't.
Mhm. She doesn't do anything for you.
Nah, no,
Okay. Well, can you? I just want. Did you see in the chat, in the private chat?
no, because I'm never there.
Right. You see it now.
Yeah.
Okay. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna go ahead and Steph. Steph is 36 and she's from Atlanta, Georgia. She's 36 year old entrepreneur who exudes confidence, and I feel like she is confident. I don't know. I like her personality. I think she's very beautiful. I don't know that there's anybody over here for her either because um like I said, with Carlos is probably gonna be booed up for a minute with Janae unless something happens, unless they have some type of fallout. Right now, they're getting to know each other, and it seems like they're very much on one accord. So I don't know that anybody's gonna infiltrate that. She did the right thing. She picked Tyson because Tyson is the go-to when you don't have anything necessarily going on, and Steph is gonna have to figure out how to maneuver herself around this house. I will say, I don't think there's any maneuvering without I don't think there's any maneuvering without these ladies having some type of rapport with each other. Um yeah, it's not fun for anybody in the house. It's not fun for the guys or the audience. We like to see a little bit of mess, but we like you got to balance it out. You can't just be angry energy, like your girl Lexi over here. They have this little thing where they introduce the guys to the new girls by playing a basketball game, and these girls look quite goofy, with the exception of Steph trying to manage, this little basketball obstacle course. I'm not sure what the obstacle course was for because there wasn't any like prize at the end. Like the winner didn't get anything. It was just like, let's watch these ladies play basketball and then we'll mingle with them. So right after the obstacle course, they have to pick a date because they're gonna go on these dates. They gotta go pick their date and they're gonna take 3 women on a date. That's the process here. So from these new ladies that they just met, Carlos chooses Idlewise. Um, I don't remember why he said. Oh, he said he chose her because she didn't give up, and I don't remember any of them giving up. But okay, if that's what you wanna, if that's your reason, then that's your reason. Tyson picked Steph because probably because Steph has high energy, and she was eyeballing him. I'm sure the whole time. She knows what she came over there for. And Thaddius picked Ariel. Um, I'm not sure how I feel about Ariel, but that was his choice. That was his pick.
Well, I thought the guys did pretty good. Um, we all knew, of course, we knew that Carlos was going to pick Janae, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, yeah, we knew that for sure, and we kind of knew that Titus was going to pick Dr. Shawanda.
Right. Which he should have. I mean, but I feel like Titus and Carlos are not playing.
No, I don't think so either. Didn't he also pick? I'm sorry because I came in at the last minute. Didn't he also pick another doctor? Talking about Titus now.
Ariel. Ariel is a doctor.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
Now, when
He
they're
liked
playing basketball and they had these ladies come meet each other, and the old girls came over and, was, what's her name? Brooke. Brooke said something slick. We're going to talk about Brooke. But the ladies met each other, and right away, Ariel came at Dr. Shawanda. Now you got the two doctors going at each other. She was a little spicy. She came in hot. And again, Dr. Shawanda disarmed her. She was like, Ariel said, he came over here to find me. And Dr. Shawanda said, maybe. But you look beautiful. Nice to meet you.
there go that Southern charm.
I was loving it. I was like, relax, little girl. You just got here. You don't know me. What is all this energy about? Of course, Carlos asked Janae because they go together. I appreciate him standing on business. Like, there's no need to be fake. Whenever we get a date, I'm gonna take her because I like her.
You know what? You sound so high schoolish. They go together.
I do. They do. They go together. That's as much as that's as much as we could call it at this point. He also chose Brianna because she made a basket. So, girl, congratulations, because at least you had a date. It's bad when you don't. So, but Brianna seems like she's fun though. She
She
wasn't
was.
acting all stank.
She was not.
Tyson playing. We know what he's doing. Who is his dates? He picked all new girls. Tyson doesn't like leftovers. He would prefer to pick one of the new batch every single time. So this time he's going with Sarah and Steph. And who was the other person? Felicia.
All
That seemed
beautiful.
like a fun group, to be honest. I like that
Hmm.
group.
All fun. All beautiful, fun women.
Yeah, I like that group.
But you
Meanwhile,
know, no, but I gotta interrupt here. Okay, so you gotta point out a thing. Tyson talked about how he was hurt and how he dated a non-celebrity woman, and one of his good friends, well, Naomi Campbell, in fact. So look, you can't be dropping down to those standards. And I'm paraphrasing, okay? These are my
mhm.
words, but this is the gist of what she said. You can't be dropping down your standards and dating a regular woman. You are a celebrity, and basically, most women cannot handle the attention that you're going to get. And I think she's right.
I don't know, because George Clooney went through his whole life saying how he was never going to marry somebody, and he took all these Hollywood ladies on a roller coaster ride of, only to be, time wasted, then to marry this doctor, lawyer, whatever his wife is, who's not in the spotlight but has her own. And I think that's what's more important. Not necessarily the whole spotlight thing, but you cannot be. You got to be able to get into rooms on your own. You don't need to be using Tyson's access, you know what I'm saying, to get the things that you need.
Hmm. Excellent point. Excellent point. I believe she's an attorney, and the thing of that was they were attracted to each other because not only is she drop dead gorgeous, like she could have been a supermodel, basically, and she became an attorney instead. And what she does is she fights for equality and international civil rights. So Clooney, because he's that type of person, he's into the same things. Those are his causes. That was very sexy to him, much like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
I mean, I know she's his type. I don't know a whole lot about Megan besides, her being an actress. I feel like they're on the same plane, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, besides him being a prince. But I mean, I'm from over here. So for me, that's the end.
Okay. But I was just using that as you said, the George Clooney one is a good um example, and I felt like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were too.
They both match. I mean, I guess for us, you know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know what she did besides acting, Meghan Markle.
Well, she had a platform that had went global, and up until they got engaged right before or right after, I think it was right before, the what do they call it, the firm,
Hmm.
the royal family, they basically said she had to shut that down. But she also had, like, much like he has an interest in, same thing with, like, with George Clooney. He has an interest in people who are oppressed, just like his
Yeah,
mother. And so she had something going on like that, similar in some ways too. So they gel like that because they have a lot of commonality, minus the part that she's not a royal.
right.
Hmm.
Which, shoot, based on what we're hearing, their money is funny. So that status doesn't play the same over here. For some people it does, but for a lot of people, that whole royal thing doesn't play the same. Aside from, we've always liked Harry. I felt like Harry was a little more regular. That's why he chose a girl.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, oh, Lexi was a problem this whole episode. I appreciate her being a problem. Because she gave us something to talk about. So she decided that she was going to pull Thaddius aside for a conversation to talk about Carlos. Why would she do that?
Crazy. Straight up crazy. And he pinged it right away. He was like, "Well, look, you're talking to me about an issue you have with Carlos, but I'm here. I'm here." And she still didn't get it. From what I was gathering, she still did not get it. She was like, "But oh, she did not get it, girl."
Remember, I said if this lady can develop some type of personality, this is what I'm talking about. Because she could have just as easily sat down with him and been like, I haven't had a chance to talk to you. Not like for real, for real. You get to know you a little better. I don't
Exactly.
feel like he's made any decisions. You want to be over here talking about Carlos is over there not paying any attention to me because he's made up his mind already.
Exactly. That was his point. That was his whole entire point. And first of all, as a grown A woman, I would expect you to know that most men do not like you talking to them about any other man.
I don't want to
Duh.
hear that.
Mm-mm. Nope.
I don't want to hear it either. As a woman, if you come over to me talking about another woman and your issue, I'm you. We closed off. I guess
Yep.
I'm not going to
Yep.
have any conversations about us at this point because go handle that over there. That's what she did. She pulled Carlos for a sidebar and really could have said the exact same thing I just said. She pulled him for a sidebar and said nothing.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Because you know why? Because she in that moment she was being cowardly about what we talked about a moment ago about having a crucial conversation. Most people, male, female, do not like having crucial conversations. They're afraid, one, of what the reaction is going to be. They're afraid because sometimes we're all people pleasers, and they're afraid because they don't really feel like they have the vocabulary to have a crucial conversation that involves something that is distasteful.
I mean, I'm gonna tap on his shoulder a little bit too because when she came over there, he was like, "What? What do you want to tell me?" That's
Oh,
not how
yeah,
conversations
he
work.
let
But
with my trigger word. What?
what?
I was like, oh Lord.
I mean, you have something to say it. And I mean, that's not how you get a connection. I get it, but that's on her because she could have came over there and been like, "It's been a minute since we talked. I enjoyed our conversation before. Don't talk about Janae. Forget about Janae." Because it's me. I'm right here. I have, things to offer too. Like you said, at the very least, it would be cool if after this is over, we could still have some type of rapport. And he will think Rhonda was dope, even though we didn't have a connection. I would
Hmm.
invite her to things if I was having things.
Yeah, you can meet somebody else that might have an interest in you.
Come
But wait a
on.
minute. I will go you one further. Lexi actually, the way the conversation was handled with Carlos, he gave her an opportunity. And like he said, she choked. And that's a sportsman term, if you
Mm.
don't know. She choked when she had all opportunity. Kind of like the New York Knicks back in the day when they had Patrick Ewing playing for them. They always choked when they got to the finals. Always. They lost to Detroit, they lost to Chicago, and everybody, like, on paper, you say, "Oh, you got this great team. They've only lost 2 games the whole season." I'm making these numbers up. Um, but when they get in front of these great other great players, they choke. So that was her moment when he said to her, he said, "Well, talk about it. Tell me what you want me to know. What is it you want me to know?" She didn't have anything to say because you know why? She has low self-esteem,
She
and she
has low
doesn't think.
self-esteem. That's why she act that way. She said, I'm not braggadocious. She not only did she choke, she said she's closed. She's closed off. So
Yeah,
then what is your point of being here then?
that's exactly what I thought when she said that. I'm like, oh my God, could you just make it any worse? Ways to say I want to leave the show. I'm closed off. I've always been closed off, and I've always struggled with communication. Well, you need to go to a communication specialist, my dear.
I forget what she does for a living. It's not she does real estate or something. Well, she owns property. So, Yeah.
Oh, right. She's the one from Little Elm, Texas, right?
Right. I was just
Yeah.
like, trying to figure out like I'm a hairstylist in my real life, in my day-to-day job. I have to talk to people. Aside
Mm-hmm.
from my skill, I have to be able to talk to people, strangers, day after day after day after day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, or bartenders who talk to people all the time. When you have a type of job where you're dealing with the public, it's not really that difficult to have a conversation. Maybe she's somebody that doesn't spend a whole lot of time. She said what she said, which I thought was funny. I have had way better men that I've spent time with on the outside, and
Yeah,
I'm
and
like, better. What does that mean?
better how? And then yeah, and my thing was too, they may have been if they were better. Well, how did that result? You still single and you're here.
Here you are over here, closed off, being messy.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson picked his dates, and he said something, and I was like, this is exactly what he means. This is the second time he did this. When he went on a date and made those ladies jump out of an airplane only to ignore them.
Mm-hmm.
um, he said, what did he say? This is the kind of relationship I like, or something. And we were like, there's two people, there's three of you.
Right, right.
This time he sat on that couch, cheesing like a Cheshire cat with all these women around him, feeding him grapes and stuff, like he's Hugh Hefner. And he said, I like to keep my women wondering what I'm going to do next. Women, plural, all of you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The thought occurs to me that he may not be ready to get into another serious relationship at this time, and I can't fault him for that. And here's the thing: what I've learned about men: listen to what they're saying, believe what they're saying.
Yes.
Don't think that you're going to be the one to change them.
I've never known Tyson Beckford to even be like attached to anyone. Didn't you say his marriage lasted like he was married and divorced in the same year?
Yes, correct. When I did some research on him just briefly, and I didn't go into any kind of deep dive to find out who this non-celebrity woman was that broke his heart or whatever. Yeah, he just had a brief marriage to a very exotic looking woman, and that's all I can say about him. But he's not the person. I don't really keep up with celebrities like that. If I hear something, I hear something, but you know,
You haven't heard anything about him because nobody's talking about him. That's why he's over here.
that's fine. I'm
He
here
said
for it.
straight out the gate, like, I'm here to get my groove back, like Stella.
I'm here for it then too, cause he sure
Um,
look good to me.
yeah, and he's entertaining. Like, Tyson's funny.
Hmm.
Um, and it hasn't stopped these women from trying to go on a date with him. So. So Dr. Shawanda the next morning, she pulled Thaddius aside so she could address the whole conversation about him calling her aggressive. And the way she handled that with such poise, I was like, now she's not aggressive. She's in a super soft space. I feel like she spent the night trying to figure out how she was going to bring this conversation up without him being on the defense, because that could have went way left. He could have been like, it's just a word. You know how people like to blow you
Oh
off.
yeah, right. Gaslight you, but
Yeah.
you know what? I think that goes to show his character. That goes to show his seriousness, and also the way she phrased things and the way she just kind of was vulnerable in the moment. I think it makes a difference. If you're sharing something with someone that they did or said that offended you or hurt your feelings, sometimes it's better to be hurt than offended, if that makes sense, right? See, there are certain words that are triggers for a lot of people. When you say offended rather than hurt my feelings, that's different. That goes to emotions. And I think that what she did in talking about the situation, she gave him the stereotype. She gave him that people say this about us, and if we're professional career women and we're in charge, but it's an unfair title and it's not the correct word. She didn't even say this part, but she was saying, leaning toward saying
Mhm,
assertive earlier when she
mhm.
was doing her green screen or whatever. And she's right. She's absolutely right. I think a lot of times, in my mind, in my observations, Black men are so caught up in that they're victims so often in society, and they are at times, but they forget that Black women also are victimized by the majority as well.
Well, I feel like he saw it. Like he pictured it in his head. I feel like he pictured exactly what she was saying. To add to what you just said, I feel like Black men, when they get to a certain status, they're around white women and less Black women. So some of those things that he's, people say like just out of nowhere, he ain't think about it because he hasn't had to see it so much.
That's true. That's true. That is absolutely true. I don't know
That
if
was
Titus has, just real quick. I don't know if Titus has siblings. I don't know if he has little sisters or big sisters. I don't know, but I think that was an important moment for him to take
mhm.
notice, and he seemed to have done so in a very serious way. I love the way he handled it. I love the way she handled it.
I fell in love with them right then. Right then and there, I was like, oh, I heart this.
Okay.
Look at them. And then I just like with all the things that he does in terms of the schools and you know what I'm saying? She's gonna be able to carry herself. And if she has somebody
Hmm.
that speaks to her in a way that's, inappropriate, offensive, you know what I'm saying? She's
Hmm.
gonna know how to handle it
Hmm.
with
True.
that
True.
with that accent. She will be able to set you straight in such a sweet way, Mississippi, Atlanta.
I also have a question. I don't want to move you along too fast, but the conversation that Titus had with the other doctor lady, I forget her name,
Ariel.
Ariel, is that something that you wanted to discuss? Because I think that was an interesting scene as well.
Sure. Um, I don't know. It's not because I just love these two so much, because somebody else could come in this house and I could feel, differently about it. But ah, Ariel is just kind of problematic for me. Even the pants, the little booty out thing. I was
Oh, was that
like,
her? Was that her with the? Oh, yes, it was. It was
yes.
because when they went to have the serious talk, I just remember the conversation. But you're correct. He was watching her walk down the hill, and he was like, "And look at that outfit." And we
I
all
mean,
know
her
that
body is
outfit.
body, and I'm not taking that away from her. I just feel like if she came in the house as the party girl and that was the route she was going to take, I would feel differently about it. But you're coming in as the doctor therapist with the, autistic son, and now you want to sell this whole I'm a mom thing with
That
your booty crack out.
right, and that's and that's where I wanted to go with this. I wanted to ask you. So, what did you think of that scene together that they had? Because he seemed to be very moved by her talking about her son with autism, because he's also dealt with many special needs children, and he has a program called Lift that specifically deals with children that have neurodivergent capacities.
I feel like this is a great relationship, friendship. I feel like again, how is she gonna present? You know what I'm saying? If she, if he has an event, like when she met the ladies, she was very much on snappiness.
Hmm.
So, I don't know. I have a problem with these people that say one thing and present different when it's conflicting to me in my mind like that. Like, I'm not a prude. I didn't have a problem with the pants per se.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
want you to sell. What are you selling? Are you selling the mom or are you selling the, like, because the first little outfit she had on, I'm like, we could see she body yaddy yaddy. I don't have to see her whole ass. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just because.
Yeah. Agreed.
And then it's the whole I've been engaged for 3 times. I feel like she's very good at luring you in, and then maybe, it's a little bit of tick tick boom on the other side.
Okay, yeah, there is that part. Yeah, the engaged 3 times. That's a lot.
Like, did you really get a read on her personality?
No, not until she started talking about her son, and I felt, she gave herself to me some type of identity, but no, not really.
That humanized her for sure. And I could see, like, I watched my sister deal with that with my niece. So I know it's tough. You know what I'm saying? Having a child with disabilities. And then, when with certain degrees of autism, your child is not going anywhere ever. You know what I'm saying? This is your life taken care. But I love that he was open to that. And he, like you said, if this is the woman I choose and she's got a child with this kind of situation, I got to take that on too. And, because it is what it is. She's not coming just as herself. She's got a package, and her package is special. And you have to have the patience for it.
Yeah, true story.
He's got kids, so we have to see, like, how does that work? How do you blend those things together? Well,
Yeah.
when the ladies get over in the house, now they're all in that house together, and Lexi wants to run a smear campaign against Carlos. It's irritating me now because it doesn't make sense. Like, he literally didn't do anything to you. She's saying she investigated and found out that he has had some indiscretions in his marriage in the past. So what are you doing here then? I feel like we keep saying that about her, but he's somebody, like, now you don't even like him. When did she do this research? Yesterday?
Right. Because she didn't seem to mind when he was picking her to stay in that first episode when he saved her from being eliminated. She sure didn't mind then. But yeah, I guess I can see a woman, if I was in that situation, yeah, I'd use the Googler and I would look him up too, and look the other guys up or whatever. But the whole thing about it is it shows her lack of maturity, in my opinion, and her lack of discretion, that when she found out the information, rather than keep it to herself or have a private one-on-one conversation with Carlos about it, she decides instead to just, be in the kitchen and just happen to be talking when Janae walks in about that situation. And she gave her a little side glance too, like, did you hear that, girl? Did you hear that? So I agree with Janae. It's like she really wanted her to overhear that.
That's what she wanted. She wanted her
Hmm.
to overhear it. Dr. Shawanda didn't want to have no parts of it.
Yeah.
She was pretty much like, everybody has a past, girl. Maybe you should discuss it with him.
Yeah, because that's what a person that is mature does. They direct their energy toward a problem to the person that can help them resolve the problem. See?
I mean, looking at all three of these men standing here, do you think the other two didn't cheat?
Um, I don't
Thaddeus has
know
what, two
what
two
what what
divorces?
what Carlos. Yeah, what Carlos talks about. Well, I mean, we're talking about Carlos, but I don't know, but to the doctor's point, everybody has a past. And like I said, you're coming here. I'm thinking these women should really be looking to have a good time, increase their social media footprint, and not worry about anything else.
That's what I'm always thinking too. I'm like, so besides finding love, what else is the plan? Because it doesn't seem like you had one.
Right. Have a
I
plan.
mean, you
Plan
you
B.
you have this property in Texas. You could have talked about how hard it is for a black woman to even attain that type of property on this,
Mm,
very valuable
whatever.
location. She
Yeah.
could have
Yeah.
said so many things about herself. We saw her with her arms folded, and when it stinks over here. I don't like it. She's been whining and complaining ever since she got here.
Yeah, not a good look. Not a good look. She wasn't ready. Let's just call it what it is. At least
Yeah,
in my opinion, she wasn't ready for the big leagues. Okay.
she wasn't ready probably for the amateur league either. I feel like on the very basic
Mm.
on the very
Ooh.
basic level, we could engage with each other.
And
I
see
can
here.
go to the grocery store, have a conversation with the cashier if I'm standing there long enough.
Hmm.
Well, this lady didn't waste any time. And she went over there and she, had to sit down with her man. And she said, the people are out here saying you were cheating. Now, I realize that was your past, but where are you at now? Because I'm not about to deal with that.
Yeah, she was very direct. She had a crucial conversation and was looking for a resolution. That's the key.
And he gave her an absolute real answer. I was not mad at him when he, decided to, the way he communicated that to her.
Hmm. Absolutely. They were both very mature adults with this interaction. And I think once you get your concerns out the way, because that also helps build or deepen the trust, because these two are just meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that could help build the trust so that she feels like she's safe with him, because he's past all that now. That was in his past. That was when he was 20 years old. That was maybe even when he was 30 even. But what is he now, like 40 something?
He's in his 40s. He said he has
Hmm.
gone through therapy and he has a different relationship with God. I mean, I'm sure maturity, the years have taught him. It sounds like he realizes that the consequences of his actions were definitely not worth it. That whole breakup of his marriage seemed like it was a hard time for him to get through.
Right. That right. And that's what I'm thinking. He did have a hard time. So he, at least from what he's telling her and us, he has grown. He has simply grown. And here's the thing: you either gonna believe it or you're not. It's
Or
just
you're
one or two
not.
things. What is it? So Janae gets to choose whether she believes him or not.
Well, she can watch how he moves from here. So far, he pulling her on the dates, so she's right there. So if he, as long as he keep pulling her in, he's
Hmm.
letting her know that I'm exploring like I'm supposed to, but you're right here too. So
Right, right. But now let's imagine that, a week or 2 weeks from now, he's talking to another lady. He's not serious about the other lady. He's not necessarily even attracted as he is to Janae, but he's talking because, like you said, he's kind of playing the game right now, so to speak. What do you think Janae's reaction will be when he's sitting there talking to someone, and maybe the particular beautiful woman is all leaned up against him or whatever? How do you think she's going to deal with that?
I think she'll be able to handle it as long as it's not disrespectful.
Okay. And what's disrespectful, since they unofficially are not officially in a relationship, right?
I feel like there's a way you move while you're in front of me, and there's a way you move, you know what I'm saying, when you have a moment to be private with someone. And if you feel like that you want to be in a certain space with somebody different than me,
Hmm.
then I mean, I guess I can back off a little and let you see what you feel about that. I don't think he's gonna like it if she backs up. Like, he already likes her. I think if she, like, how when you fishing and you gotta like let the tension and pull it in a little bit and let it out a little bit. I feel
Hmm.
like that'll be, the best route for her because they already like each other. And he's a tunnel vision guy. Like, he's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Unlike the person that went and got engaged 3 times, he committed to it.
he did. He did. I think he's very intentional also, and I think because as a professional athlete, he is accustomed to dealing with strategies and so forth, and plays. I think, like you said, he's got tunnel vision. He's also very intentional,
Hmm.
and we can see it in the way he's presenting himself with her and with the other ladies.
I like that. No, he's grown, not playing games. I like it if you're being intentional. Then I know, you know what I mean? Then I know how to move to it. All that guessing and,
Hmm.
does he like me? I like, just say what it is.
Does he like me? Check yes or no.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't want to play those Tyson games over there talking about how he likes all his women to be. Um, let's talk about Brooke because Brooke is giving I'm pretty and I don't have to try and you're supposed to just like me because I'm pretty.
Mm, yeah, I think a lot of the ladies, quite frankly, the one next to her, Lexi, I think that's also her issue. I think a lot of times beauty in our society is right up there, not quite, but right up there with wealth and power. So like
Hmm.
I'd say beauty or good
It's
looks,
currency.
it's currency. It's like maybe number three or number four. So
Yeah.
all of these women are attractive, very attractive. And what I feel like with Brooke is that, yeah, she's extremely attractive. I think she said she's a model, and
Hmm.
Tyson was already in her DMs already, like before this show. So that's where they knew each other from, just briefly. She is a beautiful woman and she's accustomed to attention. But the problem with it becomes if you don't see yourself all of the other attributes that you have, right? So now all these beautiful women are all together, and Tyson, who likes a smorgasbord anyway, is looking at the other beautiful women and she's getting upset. But why? Like, why? I never understood that.
I don't feel like Tyson was dishonest. I don't think he's over there like gassing her up. He's
Nope,
been this whole time
he is not.
being, Tyson.
But Tyson tried. Listen. When Tyson tried to tell her, Tyson said to her, it was her and who was the other girl?
Eliana.
Liliana. Yeah,
Liliana.
and he likes to call. I'm gonna call her Lily, okay, because my tongue is a little sleepy right now. But
Mhm.
her and Lily, he tried to tell them both. He said, "We will talk about this later." And I didn't feel like there's some guys that'll say, "We'll talk about this later," and you're never going to talk about it with that particular guy. I felt
Mhm.
like Tyson was going to honor his word, and when he said, "We're going to talk about this later," there is a time and a place for everything. But if you are going to be out here in public by the pool while we all having fun, and you want to know this, that, and the third about why am I looking at these other beautiful women? Well, doggone it, I'm a man. What do you expect? She should know that.
I want to know what was I supposed to talk about?
She wanted to
Y'all
talk
came
about.
marching. Her and Liliana came marching over there together. Like, come here. You need to talk. You're our boyfriend.
That's what it was, and they see it as, oh, maybe it's disrespectful, or you're hurting our feelings, or whatever. But that's kind of one of those things that really tick men off about women, when you get so silly that you miss the whole point that he's a man, right? Like, he's a man. Let him look. Let him talk.
I don't even
Be
feel like he was
confident.
being disrespectful. He was walking around the room like, "Hey, this is what I'm talking about."
Right, but I'm saying, but they all caught up in their feelings and their egos. That to me, that was the point. Her and Lily were both caught up in their feelings and, more importantly, their ego.
It was definitely her ego. She said Tyson has known her the longest. I'm like, you just met that man the same time yesterday. It's how many?
Right.
It's been 24 hours.
Well, what she wanted to say, but she couldn't say. She was smart enough not to say is, "I'm the most beautiful woman here, and
Mm.
you should not have eyes for anyone else." Much like Carlos only has eyes for Janae.
Janelle's not walking around saying that I'm the most beautiful woman here. She's putting in the work. She's having real conversations with this guy, and you pick Tyson. I don't understand. Even like he slid in your DMs, and then what happened? Nothing.
Oh, hey, Kirby. Are you watching this show, Kirby? Are you watching King's Court on Bravo or Peacock, depending on which one you have, or both? Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think this is where the emotional maturity kind of hits the road, right? You're either going to be a mature woman or you're not. And you're either going to be confident in your attributes besides your beauty, all the other attributes you have. You are a great whatever, I don't know, whatever it is you're great at, right? But you're not sitting up whining. Okay, all right, Kirby. You're not sitting there whining like she's doing, because that's basically what it sounds like to me, is she's whining. And it's ridiculous. You want to go ahead and take us to where she really begins to put up a fit, or we there yet?
Well, yeah, but I wanted to say she said a very toxic thing. She said in her relationships when they end, it's never been her. She's never been the problem. It's always somebody else that's the problem. And I'm like, I feel like that's dishonest. That's not honest. If you can't see your own, how things went left, even in this situation, things went left. Like the problem was you. This was your problem. She had a whole crash out because she didn't want to get eliminated. It was too that would be too embarrassing. So rather than allow him to eliminate her for getting on his nerves, she decided she's gonna quit.
Yeah, that was something that I didn't see coming from her, and I could see the other young lady, Lexi.
Lexi.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but Brock, I didn't see that coming from her. I thought that she would have been stronger than that, but she wasn't.
And she's a model. I feel like that goes along with being with um all three of these men, but Tyson especially, like he's an icon in the
Right.
modeling industry. So I feel like I don't know, that should have been expected. I feel like you should expect that women are gonna always be in his face.
And here's the thing, here's the ticker too. Even if he were to pick her and they were to go out in the real world and have a relationship, she obviously couldn't handle in the real world where women, oh my God, like one of my exes was a NBA ball player, and right at the peak of his career when he was winning championships and everything, we were together. And the things that I had to tolerate or put up with or even set straight, it would make a lesser woman go crazy. But it bothered me only to a certain extent, and I wouldn't let it bother me like the other girls that they toss their extensions and their blonde hair in your face type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, it's just you gotta be a woman. You gotta put your big girl panties on, and you got to deal with it. If you're dating these kind of men, it's gonna come with a lot. And then I like what one other one said. It's not only gonna come from the women. If they're good looking like these, all three of these guys are fine and well built, it's gonna come from the men too.
It's
Don't you
coming
know?
from the men too. And
Oh, what?
also, not in any type of romantic way. These people have guys that want to be hang around. You have to fight through the groupies of friends sometimes
Correct.
to get to the man.
Correct. Unless you have, if your guy is mature, well developed emotionally, and if he's intentional and he really wants the young lady, he's gonna let that be known, and he's gonna make you a priority. If he's not making you a priority, oh well, you really don't, how much are you gonna bank on that relationship?
I mean, like you said, you can't be insecure. Not that kind of insecure, because these guys, the women are waiting. You think this Thaddius is from Tampa, so it probably every event that he has, there's all kind of women over there trying to get to see what's happening.
Well, let me tell you a little story. I had a girlfriend from high school, and she also did a little hair on the side. So, I was getting my hair done by her, and there was a event going on downtown. And, you know, this guy that I'm talking to you about, the NBA celebrity, was
Mm-hmm.
going to be there along with a bunch of other NBA players. And so I said, "You want to come?" She's like, "Oh, yeah, 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 I'll go." Got down there. Her whole disposition when she was in front of these people that she would see on the TV screen, her whole disposition changed. And
Change.
so the next day our conversations went something like this. "Oh my God, girl, he is much finer than I thought than, in person." And long story short, she basically was saying some little sly remarks about how she'd like to get with him. And I'm like, this is supposed to be my girlfriend now.
About your guy?
About my guy.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
Girl, you know what happened with that relationship, right?
We not doing hair or nothing no more.
Mm-mm. Nope, nope, don't even call me. You're blocked on all platforms.
Well, this girl, like, I don't know if she's a model. She's clearly beautiful. She's clearly used to getting attention, I'm sure. But you're gonna have to be more than pretty. So if that's all you got, then you're gonna be in that position. I feel like the isn't it interesting how the negativity gravitated towards each other? I'm gonna give Liliana props for removing herself from that and just did her own thing,
Yeah,
because I can't
yeah.
be waiting around for Tyson.
You,
But
Go ahead.
they gravitated towards each other in the mess. Lexi and Brooke did.
Say that last part again, please.
No, I said they gravitated towards each other in the negativity.
Oh
Instead
yeah.
of separating yourself from it, y'all are gonna sit up there and now be nasty together. And
Hmm.
Lexi called them old and bald.
Oh my God, yeah, that was funny. And I'm like, you know what? But yet and still, you were still talking to Carlos. And guess what? They may be older, as my godmother likes to correct people. I might be older, they may be older, but they still fine, and more than likely they're still wealthier than the average guy walking down the street. So what about that? So just
Not her.
quit
She
quit
meets better guys out in the street, according to her.
yeah,
And
right.
she said Carlos is ghetto and his I'm like, he did nothing to you. He did
Hmm.
nothing to you. for
Nope.
you to respond that way. I didn't see him acting ghetto. What she's doing is ghetto.
That part. I don't think sometimes when we're angry and in our emotions, we can't see ourselves, right? And we become very hypocritical because what she was doing and what she was saying was like a little kid when a kid gets mad at their parent and they say, "I don't love you anymore."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Get over it.
I mean, it was really immature because I'm like, I don't, he didn't do nothing to you. Honestly, he could have snapped because you were walking around the house trying to like turn people against him. But he didn't do that. He just said your behavior is toxic because it is. And
But
that, for him, he's like, I mean, if you have a connection with somebody else, I think you need to act on that. But as for me, I'm done here.
right. And I was just about to say that the way he concluded that conversation, he answered all questions and left no doubt. It's over,
Mm.
boo. And I think he took a page from my book because I'm like that. Like when I'm done, I'm done. We're not gonna talk no more. Don't call me. We're not gonna be friends. We're not gonna be neighbors. We're not gonna hit up on social media. You blocked on all platforms.
That wouldn't have been me. I would have been leaving there, like you said. Carlos is my boy, so if I go, I don't know where he lives. I just feel like it's more important in this particular setting to be building bridges instead of burning them. But
Burning them. Oh yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you from her perspective. I said that earlier. I feel like that for her, but I'm saying for him, he was tight. Like I don't know if you saw the expression in his face, and it
he
wasn't.
was. That's why I said he
It
wanted to snap, but he didn't.
no, yeah, because trust me, these guys you can't say anything or move your arm in a way
Mm-mm.
that like people are ready to sue for the stupidest thing, right? Yeah, no, he was ready, but he did the right thing and just let her know that this is a wrap right here, dear.
Oh well, she's out. So these two eliminated themselves and left another day for Liliana and Kat to stay around
We're gonna
because
find
there
out more
was no
about Cat.
elimination dinner.
I'm sure we're gonna find out more about old beautiful Cat. We're gonna find out more. So did you see any highlights for next week?
Seems like there's some new spicy lady coming in there.
Uh-oh.
I keep seeing her in the cuts. Is this one of these new ladies are gonna be spicy? So
Oh, I think I know which scene that you're talking about. Yeah, she is gonna be spicy.
yeah.
And
I
there's
don't
a
know. I'm looking forward to we didn't really get a chance to see a couple of these ladies.
right.
Um, the dates, even with Carlos's date, like we didn't see too much of it. So I get why, because they did need to wrap up the situation with these two ladies from before, get them
Mhm.
out of here. But I would like to see a little more conversation on
Okay.
these dates, whether it be one on one or all three together. Because, like I said, we saw the one girl Sarah threw a dart and won a date. Her and Tyson had a conversation, but aside from that, there wasn't a whole lot of time spent on the dates. So we
I
didn't really get to know the new lady so much.
I'm curious to see for next week. I'm curious to see since two of the ladies quit, and that's kind of like a technicality. I want to see them eliminate two other women. So let's trim these numbers down because some of these people we know they beautiful, but they just for play, not for real, for real.
Yeah, we probably won't see that until like episode 4 because
Okay,
they're still bringing new people in.
okay.
I'm trying to see. I mean, these ladies came through. I know you like Steph. I don't see Steph staying around too long. She's young and she's not connected with anybody. Tyson, he's not a connection. So
And Brianna may be, I like her, but she may be too old for these guys. And in
I
fact,
think she's too old.
I think
I
she
think
is.
so too.
And I
Yeah.
think it's not only actually her chronological age, but it's actually a look about her that's more mature. Let me say it that way, because she's very beautiful. She's very beautiful. By the way, I love her hair.
I love her hair.
Well, we'll be
Yeah.
back next week.
What do you got going on, Miss Lady, before we say goodbye?
All right. Well, I have earlier today, if you haven't seen it yet, Kirby. I don't know if you were in the live. I don't think you were earlier. You would have said hello. Be sure to check out my review of Match Me Abroad. That's another show, kind of like 90 Day Fiance, but without the fiance part, right? And it's very interesting. We have 6 daters from the U.S., and they're going to 3 countries: Brazil, Ireland, and Singapore, right? So check that out. And of course, I'll be here with you again next week. And for now, that's it.
All righty. Well, I'm over here doing all things Bravo. I'm going to go ahead and add Housewives of Orange County. I think that'll be a Wednesday thing. My timeline tea is Thursday. Friday and Saturday, I don't come over here because I got to work and I don't have the energy to do it, but I'll be back Sunday. Project Runway is about to start, so we're going to go ahead and meet the designers. Monday is Real Housewives of Atlanta, the last part of the reunion. And Tuesday, I'll be here with you and El Cid, and we'll talk about the rest of these kings.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
until then,
Mhm.
bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.